freewheeling cavalcade of circular motion, thus defined by the octagon table of double-wide mental introspection and dedicated utilitarian outward thinking in defense of zero content. Translation: we ain't got nothing. Oh, hey folks, dude here. Coming in. Another edition of Dude After Dark. This one, of course, being a special occasion because I'm actually back. Hopefully it's looking halfway decent on your end, and we'll move out smartly, do good stuff like that there. And the news has been spectacularly, oh my stars and garters. There is like so it's okay. It's voluminous, and that's using like one of those $5 words for one that's probably quite a bit simpler, simply just to say, wow. There's entirely too much crap going on now. Anyway, so looking at good stuff like that there. Basically the news has been fact, and that's putting it mildly. Oh wow. Yipes. You know what? I could go with topicality. I could go with, politics and what have you. But let's just go just a little bit more cerebral here for just a second here. This one I think is absolutely uniquely, well, it's cool. Okay. The thing about it is there's a movie out right now that really, I mean, it really is like should not have had the amount of success in which it's engendered itself upon, but wow, it's been really blanking phenomenal with what's going on here and all the good stuff like that there. But this movie is coming literally like, smack out the park that pretty much everybody's literally kind of in shock. Like it's done so spectacularly. Hang on a second, let me close that out. I don't need that right now. That's gonna be dragging resources. But anyway, what's going on is there is this movie that literally came out of nowhere, and it has been just how do you say this without saying this? Um how do you say it without saying it? Well, you simply say it as it's basically just done something that they weren't really expecting, and it has had a huge splash. Sound guy. Okay, it's had a very big splash, and people have had amazing amounts of attention to it, and good stuff like that there. But the thing is, this one's coming out literally like out of the park, over the wall, home run derby. Sound guy, are you done? I think he was trying to be funny. No, dude, no, that was not funny. Okay. So anyway, what's going on is this movie's literally come out of the just ethers, and the thing about it is it really is something that never really was intended to be as big as it is, but it's coming out by the wayside, and humorously enough, it's actually knocking down one of Disney's things. But the irony is, oh wow, this one is kind of one of those really kind of cool ones. Let me see if I can't find it real fast here. I'm just gonna have to go and search through real quick on a quick Google search here. Okay, yeah, that's what I needed. Okay, the thing about it is this movie's called Sound of Freedom, and it's talking about like all the major problems now we're having with basically like child sex slave type of rings and all kinds of nasty stuff like that there. The thing about it is though is this movie literally had a budget of only 14.5 million, and it's already recouped that easily. I mean, it's made like almost $46 million, and it is so amazing because now it's actually getting a lot of traction. So much so that it's actually making more money per screen than the new Indiana Jones movie. So the Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is getting its butt kicked by this little pipsqueak movie that really only has the notoriety of saying it's got Jim Caviezel, the guy that basically was in Passion of the Christ, and Mira Sorvino, and a couple other guys in there who really kind of don't really stand out, except for one guy who plays the bad guy. And the thing about it is he played the bad guy in the movie Apocalypto. So even Mel Gibson was like, "Oh yeah, this movie, yeah." He thought it was very, very cool. So he's giving it some interesting attention there on its own, which is really kind of cool. Now the thing about it is the crazy part about it is the movie. No, I'm not gonna read it verbatim, obviously, because it's on Wikipedia, and they'll probably go, "Hey, we don't like the Thor's hammer. We don't like that you're using our type of stuff." Wine. Anyway, so what's going on here is the movie was completed in 2018, and there was actually a deal with 20th Century Fox for the distribution on it, and the studio that actually did the production was purchased by Walt Disney Company. So they took the movie and they're like, "Yeah, we're not doing anything with this now." And they stuck it on the shelf. So the filmmakers then basically spent years trying to get the distribution rights back from Disney, and of course take it to the run to theaters. So one of the guys approached the company Angel Studios and asked for the release rights, and of course, obviously, they're going to have to buy them. So afterwards, he presented the film to an online group of 100,000 investors in past projects called the Angel Guild, which was to give it a yes vote. So on March 30th, 2023, Variety Magazine reported that the Angel Studios had finally acquired the worldwide distribution rights, and they had planned to release on the second half of 2023. So on May 12th, it finally had received its release date of 4th July 2023. So the guy in Angel Studios had used equity crowdfunding, and basically put the word out there. It's like, "Hey, if you think this is cool, throw some money at it, this, that, and the other thing, blah, 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 blah." And so basically, it's an online offering of a private company to a group of people for investment and becomes part of it. So that's what happened with that one. So 7,000 people invested and allowed Angel to meet its $5 million goal within 2 weeks. So essentially, these people are like, "Yeah, this movie sounds cool. It's got a good cause. It sounds like it's going to be something that we find to be not too much of a smack in the face for our personal beliefs. So we feel that it's worthy of our kind attentions. We'll throw some cash at it." And then they also encourage the patrons to quote unquote pay it forward, thus allowing people who probably wouldn't be able to see the movie to see it and watch it for free. Now, the other thing too is also Goya Foods, who had their own bit of private controversy with the let's just say the woke crowd, had their own swipe at them with but they think that the anti-human trafficking stuff is really cool. So they actually created an anti-human trafficking foundation called Goya Cares, and they announced their support to become an executive producer to the movie. And of course, like I said earlier, actor and director Mel Gibson endorsed it. So good stuff like that there. Now, the thing about it is, of course, because it's now out and it's getting some notoriety, Wikipedia, of course, put the lock on it because they don't want people going there and they're monkeying with things. But they do have their own little swipes in here. And they said, "Well, the accuracy on it is this, that, and the other thing. And they didn't really get this right. And, there's now connections to the QAnon conspiracy theory and blah, 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 blah." So they basically got to get their swipes in. Star Jim Caviezel subscribes to several conspiracy theories of QAnon movements. Supposedly, Caviezel spoke at a couple of QAnon conventions, endorsing the belief that child traffickers drain children's blood to obtain adrenochrome. Whether you believe in that or not, that's also, stuff that sounds sketch. Who knows if it's true or not? But, of course, Wikipedia has put a swipe in because Caviezel's kind of conservative. Excuse me 1 second here. So Wikipedia basically has put their swipe in there and try to muddy the water about it. But the thing about it is it is now basically doing pretty amazing. It's now sitting at 25th place among the highest grossing films of 2023 in the United States. Now, let's just put this on par. It's like at 46 million. Yeah, $46 million, and it's already the 25th highest grossing. That really tells me that there's not a lot of really high grossing movies in the box office right now. And also, this movie's got legs. So it's now starting to pick up, it's getting attention, and people are seeing the notoriety for what it is. I would commend it to you. I mean, it sounds like a decent flick, and they actually did put the whole plot in on Wikipedia. But you know what? There's also that whole fleshing out thing about whether it looks good, sounds good, and of course, whether it's actually a decent movie to watch. Could be decent. Oh, Patriot Fever in the room here. Okay. Patriot Fever reporting 105 sarcasm rounds ready in all respects, authenticating oh Slept right at the top. Oh, yeah. Okay. Gosh, and that Patriot Fever. He's being a little snarky in the chat room, so that's always fun. All right. So anyway, looking at things as also, seeing the entertainment function they're in. Martinez Sasquatch, I now own. Oh, very nice. So Martinez Sasquatch has seen the market for what it is, and he started buying into some precious metals. That's good. I'm not going to give out quantities, and I'm not going to say what he's got, but let's just say that the Martinez Sasquatch, equity fund has now increased in value. Very cool, dude. That's the other thing too, is also that monetary unit of which you described in the chat room is the better of the two units, because actually the price of entry is not ridiculous. And also it is a metal of industry and manufacturer. So yeah, that's also the other thing too is also like the quantities they're in is obviously secondary to the primary equity money type of metal. We're talking gold versus silver, and I'm not going to say which way he went, but yeah, what you went with, dude, good stuff. Can also price of entry, yeah, you're doing just fine. Keep on rocking on that one. So anyway, the Sound of Freedom thing, it sounds very, very interesting. Would I actually see it in the theaters? Probably not. No, probably not. I can say though that also that Disney, Disney's not doing very good right now, and let's just say that the that whole Indiana Jones thing is really doing not so good. It's doing quite badly, shall we say. The thing about it is also, if you look at like the way Disney's been doing stuff, their releases are not doing good. I mean, right now, supposedly, they think this thing is such a gangbuster movie, but everybody I've seen from reviews thinks it's this latest, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. First off, the chick who's, is constantly berating him, it's just freaking annoying. And it's like, you basically have the elder who is really knowing what the hell he's doing. And then you have this screaming pipsqueak going, "Oh, no, you're just the old white guy. You really don't know what you're talking about. Here, let me show you. I'm better than you because I'm the young girl." Yeah. Not feeling it. So anyway, let's just look at the numbers real quick here. So basically, the budget for this movie is $300 million. It's made $252.5 million. Now, there's the dirty little secret about Hollywood movies. If you have a movie and you cost $100 million to make it, and you make $110 million on it, you didn't make $10 million. You're still in the hole, because typically the way it works is the movie costs $100 million. The distribution, the advertising, after costs, any of that other stuff, it's at least $100 million more on top. So anyway, the thing about it is the way that they're describing it is if this thing makes like 350 million or 400 million, it's still $100 million loss for Disney. But that's not the only thing that Disney's dealing with problems right now. Disney also is dealing with this other movie they put out, and that would be the Elemental thing. So hang on a second, here, we punch that up. So the Elemental movie is another one that's kind of turning out to be a turkey. It basically cost $200 million to make. The box office on it, $255.4 million. No, 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 no. The way I've heard it described is basically if you have three movies that basically really don't do it, and Disney's output all this cash, and of course the lack of profitability, they're in the hole for like $900 million. So $1 billion right off the top. Ouch. Yeah. Um. mm, way, way, way too not too cool. Let me scroll on out of this one and jump back into my files. Just give me 1 second here. Scrolly, scroll. Let's see if it was over here. Oh, I don't know if you guys heard about this one or not, but this one is kind of the emperor is not wearing any clothes kind of thing. Excuse me 1 second here. Supposedly, there's a new nickname for Joe Kaka, and this one coming in from truthpress.com, and we don't think he's going to like it. So, anyway, him blowing up and copping tudes and just being snarky and kind of not being the most alert of people, being just not fun to be around. They started referring to him as Old Yeller. And there's a reason why, because behind the closed doors, they say he has such a quick temper that the aides are trying to avoid meeting with him. Some take a colleagues, he almost uses a shield. The admonitions include, GD, how the F truck, don't you know this? Don't F truck BS me. Get the F truck out of here. According to current former Biden aides who have witnessed the receiving end of many such outbursts. Yeah, yeah. That's don't F truck BS me. Yeah, so he's being really, really pissy and just not fun to be around. And of course, just being snarky. Excuse me, let me kill my sound here so I can do stuff without being worried about. Okay. Now I don't have to worry about noises, vibration. It really gets annoying too when you're trying to do something and your phone starts going. It's like ah. Anyway, so yeah, basically he's now got the new nickname of Old Yeller. Wonder what somebody's actually gonna do, the whole ballsy move and just kind of look at him and go, shut up, Yeller. Yeah. Oh man. Let's see. Scrolly, get on out of here. Get over here. Oh, supposedly PJ's newsletter, the Biden cocaine scandal takes a weird turn. The White House delivers a surprise accusation. Oh, jeez. From the post-millennial National Security Advisor, Jake Sullivan hinted that the cocaine found at the White House may likely have come from construction workers working in the area of renovation instead of the Biden family. He said, quote, I would make a point about the Situation Room because I think there's been a lot of questionable reporting on this. The Situation Room is not in use and has not been under use for months because it's currently under construction. End quote. No. There's been a number of people, including, Sebastian Gorka, saying you don't just go in this place and just walk around. Okay. There's very few people that actually would go into the White House without being searched. And truthfully, if it is a situation where somebody's going into this room, you don't just walk in there, unaccompanied, number one. And number two, you don't walk in there without being searched unless you're of the first family. Let me scroll the room here real quick. No, but Patriot Fever, I do prefer to invest in brass, steel, copper, and explosive breed, like basically cartridge level materials. Squatch is going werewolf hunting. Nice. It'd be a great movie. Da, da, da. Oh yeah. Snorted myself. Now he's hydrophobic. Oh man, yeah. I think Sound Guy's been working on something too, and I think it could be possibly very appropriate for the situation which we find ourselves. But the whole Hunter thing going on in the White House could be definitely described as
Ooh, Snortsky!
I just snorted a suitcase full of coke, and I'm starting to feel the effects.
Yeah, suck that dust up.
I like it.
probably one of my favorite songs by Eric Clapton, even though I don't do this stuff. But it's a great tune, man. I commend it to you. Eric Clapton, Cocaine. Let's see. Scrolly. Okay, same stuff in the room. Nothing. No. Okay. So anyway, um, DeSantis is basically telling Disney, I know why your park attendance is down. It's because it costs too much. I mean, I got another story about that too, but it's not hard to figure why people aren't going to spend $100+ a day to go and hang out at one of the parks because it costs so much. I mean, you start bringing a family in, even for like a few days, you're talking high thousands. I mean, that is way too much money when you could be investing it somewhere else. And of course, you also have the situation of, obviously finances being what they are. People are just not going to spend their money like that. That's just not going to happen. Okay. So, situation which we find ourselves in that one, people just won't go to the parks. Scrolly. Oh, I don't know if you heard about this one or not, guys. This one is unbelievably superficial, but it pretty much describes the way that those on the other side of the aisle function. But supposedly they are now losing their absolute how do I say this without saying this? Sound guy, how would you insist that I would say this? Yeah, they're losing their they're just when they really truly just need to no, that's not what's happening. They are completely losing their completely just Anyway, so what's going on here is essentially somebody who I've watched this stuff. I'm not beholden to them, but supposedly there was a Ultimate Fighting Championship 290 in Las Vegas. Well, so who showed up there but former President Donald Trump? Well, who else was there? Well, who came across the room where basically they met up with each other, shook hands, and said, "Hey." But the thing about it is he actually was hanging out, shooting the breeze, and talking to Guy Fieri. So Guy Fieri was hanging out with him, and the actual post up on Twitter is Trump is in Flavortown. Well, it gets worse than that, folks. Going down, somebody else, not a good look at Guy Fieri. Goodbye. Well, it gets even snarkier than that. I'm not going to say the chick's name, but she's not a blue chick. But I watched Guy Fieri for many years. I love Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. My Granny Ruby always said, you are known for the company you keep. Now I know why Guy Fieri is in the company he keeps. I no longer watch any of his shows on the Food Network. Dude, dumbass. He's already made his fortune. He's fine. He doesn't need you to support any of the old shows that are on Food Network now, of which he's probably got like 10. And the guy's got such overexposure on that channel. It's ridiculous. And then somebody else was like, let's be real here. Does this Guy Fieri Trump S-word surprise anyone? Okay, now here's the stupid ass question. What part of any of his performances on any of his cooking shows did you go, oh yeah, Thor's Hammer, Guy Fieri is a Trump supporter? Funny, I always saw him as like, okay, I'm the really amped up guy who drank entirely too much coffee and let's do a cooking thing. These unbelievably superficial liberals are so easy to get butthurt. It's really really funny. It really truly is. Um, okay, I'm done with that one. I'm kind of cheating because I'm going in my emails. But, I didn't post the stuff up on Facebook like I normally do. Oops, my bad. Let's see. It wasn't that one. It wasn't that one. There's another one I was looking at here. Hang on a second here. Was it this? Okay, I could talk about this one, but this is not exactly one of the sources I normally utilize. But this one's coming in from AmmoLand.com. Another Biden setback. Majority disapproves of Hunter Biden's plea deal, says a poll. Well, yeah, two Rasmussen polls have President Joe Biden and his son Hunter on the receiving end of bad news. A majority, 55%, of likely voters disapprove of the plea bargain that kept the younger Biden out of jail while settling an alleged gun law violation, put others in prison, and even more, 58%, believe Joe was involved in the son's foreign business dealings. Rasmussen released the survey results on 2 consecutive days. While the president's job approval ratings haven't seemed to budge in recent weeks, no, they've gone down, okay? They've gone down, but they're not going to actually show it as going down until probably later in the election cycle. Yeah. So according to Rasmussen, only 37% of likely voters approved of the plea bargain, while a whopping 67% believe it's likely that Hunter Biden received favorable treatment from federal prosecutors because his father is the president, including 49% who say it's very likely. Will it become a campaign issue? Maybe it already is, as the president's already dodging questions about the plea arrangement, and the gun prohibition lobby has already been silent about it. Many conservative pundits have contended that Hunter's last name was Trump. The plea arrangement never would have happened. The media would have been putting stories on every front page on the country above the fold. National divisions among party lines are inevitable. Rasmussen revealed 63% of Democrats, quote, at least somewhat approve of the plea deal for Hunter Biden, but only 18% of Republicans and 27% of unaffiliated voters approve, end quote. Meanwhile, 66% of Republicans voters, quote, strongly disapprove, end quote, of the deal, as do 45% of independent voters and 14% of Democrats. Okay, if you do the math, 45 plus 14, yipes. That's more than 50%. Yeah. When asked separately about the likelihood the president is involved in his son's questionable foreign business dealings, only 33% think it isn't likely, and only 10% aren't sure. Excuse me. Among the 58% think it is likely, 44% told Rasmussen that it is, quote, very likely, end quote, that Elder Biden has been involved. Okay, that's more than a third of the people think dude was into it, okay? Yipes. Just yipes. Let's see, was there something else here I was looking at or not? Oh, this one being very interesting. Supposedly, if you guys look up on the correct amount of stuff, read like looking up on the website to get yourself on the mailing list, but AmmoLand.com, well, this is actually one of those things I really kind of have to be snarky about, but let's just say that you guys could look up the pricing they're in and actually the deal they're in. But what was $650 is now $399 and 300 blackout. Yes, let's just say it is a radical firearm and 300 blackout, and it comprises the letters AR and the number of 15. $399 now. So basically, if you snap up that sucker and you basically do the transfer to your local Bang Bang shop, conceivably, you could have yourself a brand new deer getter for under $500. Wow. That is redonkulous. Okay, 500 plus shipping plus transfer. Yeah, that sounds about right. It's probably like 5 and change. But still, that is redonkulously cheap. If you guys want, I can throw the link into the chat room. So I will do that, and you guys could do that at your leisure. I should actually probably post that up on Facebook just to be funny about it, but that's just how I roll. So let me just throw the link in there real quickly, and hopefully that does function. So try that. That is a good link right there. And if you guys choose to do it, possibly you could find yourself with a dandy little deer canter. Because if you think about it, the blackout was actually designed for two distinct functions. If you run it heavy, it is subsonic, and it's actually a very good cartridge with like very 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 short barrels. So it actually doesn't mind if you basically snip it down to like SBR or like pistol. You put a can on it, it's really quiet. And then of course, if you run it, a much faster bullet, you go to supersonic. If you go supersonic, you're then talking something that is roughly equivalent to a 30-30, if not close to, if not superseding the AK round. Wow. All in the same envelope as a standard AR, pistol, rifle combo. Good stuff. I would do it. Post it, dude. Cooler sounds lonely. So it's in the room, and yeah, okay. I'll put it up on Facebook as well. So anyway, good stuff like that. There, I will save this one for later. Hang on a second. Okay, I'm saving it, so it is there. Okay, go back into my inbox now. Scroll, scrolly. Scroll. Oh, I don't know if you guys caught up on this one or not, but there is a state of emergency now ongoing in a state that really never has those kind of things. But anyway, so Biden has now declared a state of emergency in Vermont. Why is this? Oh, yeah, because Vermont is now suffering life-threatening flash floods after torrential downpours. Wow. I mean, normally you don't see stuff like that in Vermont. So the capital of Montpelier ordered the downtown area to close until at least midday on Tuesday as a river runs through the city and has receded. This will allow officials to access safety risks, to clean up areas, this, that, and the other thing. Okay, this is one of those kind of crazy things because you never hear news about Vermont. Patriot Fever, did we watch Bernie out to sea? Oh man. So yeah, where is Bernie? No, sound guy. No, no. It's not Quack, okay? Bernie is not Quack. He's been actually kind of quiet today. No, it is not Quack. Not Quack. So where is Bernie? Oh, sorry, Bernie. Bye. Bye, Bernie. Bye. Bernie went out to sea. Oh. No, he landed in a dumpster.
He's dead, Jim.
Oops. Landed in all that glass. Yeah, I guess that stung a little bit. What are you even doing, sound guy? So you beamed him up after you dumped him in the trash can. Sound guy, what are you doing?
I'm trying to think, but nothing happens.
Imagine, if you will, somebody on your staff pulling sound bites out and making obnoxious references. This is Dude After Dark.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Use the force, Luke.
Shut up, Grandpa. Anyway, what else do we have to worry about now with Sound Guy? Oh, he's playing voicemails.
Proceed with voice print identification. Voice print verified.
You didn't even say anything. He gets on tangents, folks. He gets on tangents. There's no way to say what he's going to do next, but yeah. Okay, well, anyway, since we referenced DeSantis earlier, let's go back yet again. Let's just say he's young enough. If things don't work out this time, he can run later on. But there's now been a poll, this one coming in from truthpress.com. A poll's found that Florida Republicans strongly favor former President Donald Trump over Governor Ron DeSantis in a hypothetical 2024 presidential primary contest. Okay, let's just break this down completely easily to understand. The whole trying to tie an anchor on Donald Trump thing really hasn't worked very well. There's a lot of people that are stridently going to vote for him no matter what. And of course, it's like this whole thing I've been explaining all along the way. Like Bill Clinton, he got more popular when everybody started pissing and moaning about Monica Lewinsky and the whole sexual thing and what is, and did he is that and the other thing? Did he this, that, and the other thing? Did he zap her here, there, everywhere? The only thing that happened is he got more popular because people said, you know what? If he's screwing around, I really don't care because, oh, my word, Hillary, egads. Let's give me 1 second here. But basically, it's come out that pretty much everybody can see it for what it is. It is a politically motivated attack to try to dirty him up as much as possible using that classic communist manifesto style of doing things where you try to make the other guy look as bad as possible. And it's always the seriousness of the charge. Never the fact if they're found guilty or not. It is the seriousness of the charge. Martinez Sasquatch and the cows okay. I think the cows are okay, and I think that's probably a little different area than being downtown Montpelier. Oh man. Yeah, but you never really hear anything about Vermont except for Bernie. Bernie. Well, anyway, Florida Atlantic University mainstream poll, lab poll. Oh, that rolls right off the tongue. Showed that Trump held a 20-point lead over DeSantis among registered GOP voters when half said to support the 2024 primary held today. Half said Trump, while 30% DeSantis and 7% said they were undecided. Wow. Well, the other thing, too, is also, like, there's a lot of guys that are way the heck back there, like Vivek Ramaswamy. Now, the other thing, too, is I like Vivek. I mean, dude... Every time I hear dude speak, I like him more than the time before. He's young. He can come out of the woodwork. He can be put in a cabinet. He can get various jobs. And there's that whole insider thing with Washington is once you're in there, you're like a cockroach. Trying to get you back out is not the easiest thing. So Vivek is at 4%. Tim Scott's at 3%. Chris Christie, Pence, Asa Hutchinson, all at 2%. Governor Nikki Haley is at 1%. Any of those guys, they don't have a prayer, okay? And any of the thing about it is any of those other previous people, I really don't have a problem with the exception of Mike Pence and Chris Christie. Both those rhino buttholes need to be nowhere near Washington, D.C. ever again. Martinez Sasquatch. Yes, I know. I will get into that in a little while. That was one of those hilarious news stories that really, truly cracked me up. I'll get into that in a little while. Trust me, man. That one is that one's yummy. Hutchison to that list. Yeah, well, the thing about it is if you look at Asa Hutchinson, he's kind of the nice guy, and he's the nice guy that's really kind of ineffectual, but he's really not going to do anything, okay? Nobody really knows the guy for, Adam. And coming out of Arkansas is not the same thing as, Bill Clinton getting that ride. And I think that's really, truly what he's hoping for is the fact that they go, well, they'll go for a Republican out of, Arkansas now that they've gotten for, a Democrat out of Arkansas. Not going to happen, dude. No, you're not going to get it. So the poll was conducted from June 27 to July 1 before DeSantis faced blowback for the controversial video attacking Trump for his LGBTQ, XYZ PDQ. That whole messy kind of
XYZPDQOU812.
Okay, I don't know if I like that one so much, sound guy. It's a little brassy.
XYZPDQOU812.
Okay, are you done with that?
You've got mail.
Oh, I'm sure if it was XYZ PDQ, you would have mail. Anyway, yeah, it. So is that what you're saying, sound guy?
XYZPDQOU812. You've got mail.
Okay, I guess he's talking about the fact that you have to be one of the guys to get the mail. Because the other side of the aisle, the girls are going, "No, not now. Ew, men are icky." Uh, Patriot Fever. Oh, Martina Sasquatch. Oh, I actually have a request to drop the spicy. You tempt him with these things, and he just does it. Okay, he does things. Asus signed a trans bill. Um, it's possible.
Whoa! It's spicy!
I don't know if a trans bill is it's spicy. I don't know if a trans bill is spicy. I don't know. But yeah, I think it's entirely possible. I mean, I think he actually did Patriot Fever. I'd have to look up the history on that one, but yeah. But the other thing too is also out of the bunch. Aces doesn't come across as like the standard political, snarky, control freak butthole. He kind of comes across as, just a decent guy. Will he get elected? I don't think so. But the whole numbers, it's showing 24% lead over DeSantis, 57% supporting Trump, 33% supporting DeSantis, 5% undecided, 6% support for other candidates. You're not getting that one back, man. DeSantis, just keep running Florida spectacularly. Bide your time. You have, 2 more years in office or something? Bide your time. Also the other thing, too, is also, who knows? I mean, you could be pulled out to do something else. I mean, it's just good stuff. Looking over also with the other stuff, too, is supposedly Disney World is showing itself as, like, really, really low attendance. I've got an article here. They're talking about that one. Let's see, jumping over here. Also, Truth Press. So Disney World is just about empty, and they're saying that the pictures that they're showing, I mean, the street is basically empty. Disney World in Orlando is suffering. Here is mid-July. Schools are out, families are on vacation, and the streets of Disney are just about empty. Okay, let me put this in perspective for you folks. I've been to Disney in Florida scads of times. Okay, I got married there. Another place backwards and forwards. You never see the streets looking like that picture ever. No, it does not look like that. Wall Street Journal, citing new data from Torrid Plans, company that tracks wait times at theme parks, reported that Disney World and Disneyland in California has significantly lower wait times to get on rides on the Independence Day weekend, which should be huge. According to Torrid Plans, Disney's Hollywood Studios theme park in Central Florida experienced the third slowest day in the past year. The average wait time in Magic Kingdom Park was down around 27 minutes, down from 31 minutes in 2022 and 47 minutes in 2019. Wow. I mean, that's huge. It's something nobody could have predicted, just unfathomable, said Len Testa, the Touring Plans data analyst. Disney executives warned about expected weaker earnings from the U.S. park segment. Days ago, key bank capital markets downgraded Disney over feels of stalled growth to lower attendance of theme parks and lower streaming viewership. Oh, they've been losing, to Disney Plus people like crazy. Disney's market capitalization has halved since peaking at $3 to $35 billion in March 2021. To stoke demand, Wall Street Journal noted the Orlando area resort is even offering hotel discounts around Christmas, typically a peak period. Okay, I can tell you, being in Disney in Florida in December, pre-Christmas, the place is just about empty, because everybody's in between vacations. Thanksgiving's let off, haven't got down there yet for Christmas, but the place is fully decorated, and there's no crowds. Also, getting down there that time of year, the weather is absolutely peachy. The drastic slowdown of visitors to U.S. parks comes as the company hiked prices and eliminated complimentary amenities. Stephanie Aprea, an Atlanta-based senior planner and director of marketing for Pixie Travel, an agency focused on Disney vacations, said rising costs had led some families to vacation elsewhere. Like where would they go? Oh yeah, they would maybe go to like Dollywood. They would maybe go to like, other local places in their own states. They would go secondarily maybe to, I don't know, another place in the United States, because once you get down to the point of you're looking at multiple hundreds of dollars per day, it actually becomes cheaper to fly someplace else and do a cheaper park. Kind of like those guys that come down to my burg and go, oh yeah, I want to watch a ball game in the local park in Baltimore because, oh yeah, the ticket price there, even with a flight down, a flight back, and getting a hotel room is still cheaper than getting a ticket price in New York City or in Boston. So trust me, we have a lot of Yankees guys and a lot of Red Sox guys coming to catch the games down here in Baltimore to watch the Orioles because our park is cheap. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Quote, people have been fatigued with price increases based on the economy at the moment, Apria said, adding clients ditch Disney parks for cruise or beach vacations because of the high prices. Okay, now I've told you guys about this one before. Just give me a second here. I need a swig of ticker juice. If you take a cruise vacation, there's three things that are taken completely out of the mix. One, your transportation is done. You're on the boat going from pier to boat to location, back to boat, bing, 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 stop, on and off, on and off, on and off. Your transportation's handled. Your housing is handled because you got a cabin on the boat. You're on and off, bing, bang, boom, change, shower, sleep, whatever. That's why you have the cabin. Number three, your food is done. Your food is inclusive on the boat, unless you decide to eat at one of the, the boutique restaurants, or, you decide to, step it up and go to like one of those guys. You could do that as well. However, if you're going to do an eating tour on a cruise ship, oh my stars and garters, it is ridiculous. You literally can eat from one end of the boat to the other end of the boat and make yourself put on like, you can eat like a horse if you wish to, and they don't care. They just make more food. Patriot Fever in the room says booze is endless. Oh, dude, there's like so many bars on a cruise ship. It's just redonkulous. And once you're on the boat and you basically do your thing and you got your Sea Pass. Let me see, do I have? Yeah, I still got one of mine. Here we go. Still got one of mine. Once you have this guy and you're walking around the boat, that's your credit card. This is also your room key. But once you're on the boat, you are literally going, oh, yeah, I want to get this. Hand it off to the person. Whoop. You get your whatever. Done. As a matter of fact, I got two of my cruises here. Oasis and Ular. Oh, okay. So this was two of the Florida trips. This was both of them the Oasis class boats. So yeah. Big boys. Not quite the biggest anymore because now they have the new boat. But that's the nice thing is literally all three of these things are taken care of. And you know what it's going to cost. The only thing that you're going to get charged for at the end of the day when you get, to the end of your cruise is you're going to get charged your bar tab. You're going to get charged for obviously some other amenities. And if you do the math, you literally can do it very, very cheaply within a certain realm of reason, because there's all kinds of websites that basically try to sell the empty rooms. So you literally can wait till like almost like the last second and go, yeah, I was thinking of taking that cruise, but I need a better room price. And that's when you look in there and here's the dirty little secret. You get to the point where the boat is almost full and they have those last couple of cabins and they're trying to clean them out. The prices go down. They don't go up. They go down because they're trying to say, I want to have maximum amount of people on here, so I justify the expenditure of how much it takes to run this boat from this point to this point and back to this point again, because those things inhale an immense amount of fuel. They burn clean, but they inhale an immense amount of fuel, so they're trying to justify all that expenditure for all that food they put on board, all that fuel they put on board, everything else they put on board to carry all that group of people going from here to there and back again. And of course, obviously, if you're going to one of their islands, the upkeep on that, all the overhead for all the personnel, boat upkeep, just I can't even imagine how much money they have to put out the door just to keep the boats rolling. But it's an insane amount of funds. So the rooms get cheaper as they're trying to fill them desperately. So if you're smart, I would behoove you to use one of those websites and get your best price possible. And the other thing too is also consider the way things work is potentially if things are getting a little screwy and it doesn't look like it's going to be that good a cruise, or you see a better price, cancel that cruise, get on another cruise. But here's the big trick of the trade. Always get to your destination and never, ever, 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 ever go from plane to boat. Always go from plane to hotel. Then the next day you've had a day's sleep and you're not stressing out going, I'm going to make it to the boat time. fight with the airports and everything else. And if something screws up, you have a day of squish. So you have some time to make things work. Um, Our Montana Sasquatch, I'd rather go on a 2-week road trip and see a few states instead of Disney. Well, if you're going to go that way and it's a vacation, park your car and rent a car. That way you put the bashing on that car and you don't beat your own stuff up. Let's see, scrolly. Yeah, that was the other one too. Is also, the Star Wars themed hotel at Walt Disney World was set to close in the coming months because of lackluster demand. Yeah, well, it was $4,800 for a 2-night package at the hotel. Yikes. And they spent how much money to build this hotel that stayed open for not a lot of time? Ouch. Just ouch. Unbelievable. Let's see. Scrolly. There was another story I saw in here. Oh, this one I thought was interesting. A Georgia Democrat representative switches parties because the Democrats crucified me and abused the black community. And she happens to be actually a person of color. Yeah. So State Representative Misha Maynor, who represents District 56 in the Peach State, announced on Tuesday she's officially switching her party registration from Democrat to Republican following a tumultuous relationship with her colleagues. Quote, "Today I made a decision to leave the Democrat Party. I represent a blue district in the city of Atlanta, so this wasn't a political decision for me. It was a moral one," she said in a social media post. Quote, "I will never apologize for being a black woman with a mind of my own," she added. Wow. Wow. Here we go. When I decided to stand up on my belief of disadvantaged children to support a school choice, my Democrat colleagues didn't stand by me, Maynor said, told the Fox News Digital, asserting that her Democrat colleagues, quote unquote, crucified her for supporting school choice and standing up against the efforts. Standing against the efforts to fund police. Said she's always stood with the type of politicians who work across the aisle, deliver results for our community and the people who are elected to represent. But the leftist colleagues did not support her. They abandoned me, she said, explaining again the decision to leave the Democrat Party. It was a political decision, not a political decision, but a moral one. For far too long, the Democrat Party has gotten away with using and abusing the black community. For decades, the Democrat Party's received the support of more than 90% of the black community. And what do we have to show for it? I represent a solidly blue district in the city of Atlanta. This wasn't a political decision to me. It's a moral one. Since it's been a long time coming, posted a video in May revealing she found herself in crosshairs of Democrat caucus, Georgia House of Representatives. In the caption, Maynor explained the Democrat Party establishment is looking to take me out. I represent a solidly blue, highly diverse district, and I've never hesitated, will never hesitate for the best interest of communities I represent over party politics. Wow, she's not that blue. School choice, parent rights, and opportunities children to thrive, especially those marginalized attend to fail in school. The Democrats in the Capitol took a hard position, demanded every Democrat vote against the children and for the teachers union. I voted yes for parents, yes for children, not failing schools, she said, declaring she will not apologize to her colleagues for refusing to bow to their demands. Well, my community loves the fact somebody's finally sticking up for them and not holding the system accountable, explaining the Democrats are upset with her for not doing what they demanded like a good little girl. Every election year, I hear Black Lives Matter, but do they? I see every other minority being prioritized with black children living in poverty and I can't read. But do they? I see every other minority being prioritized. No, I can't read. We sent $1 million to the border for immigrant services, but black communities are not even a shout out. I'm sorry, I don't agree with this. I'm not backing down. I'm not even actually getting started, she added. Wow. She's feisty. I like her. Yeah. So that's the other thing, too, is also now there's people who are basically straying off the reservation. That's always interesting to see. Scroll. Oh, this one is very, very interesting. Modelo is now besting Bud Light, and it's been that way for the second month now. So apparently that whole Dylan thing, yeah, not the best thing. But they got the whole gonna do it, not gonna stop. You have to double down on stupid. Gonna be that way. Not gonna stop being how we are. Yipes. This one coming in from Breitbart.com. Unsold electric cars are piling up on the dealer lots. Uh-oh. Yeah, they're ramming it down our throats to basically have EVs and plug it everywhere and all the rest of this happy horse stuff. No, it's not happening. Growing discrepancy between electric car supply and demand suggests that while consumers are showing more interest in EVs, they're still concerned about buying one due to the price or charging concerns, according to a report by Axios. Jonathan Gregory, senior manager of economic and industrial insights at Cox Automotive, likened the situation to the 1989 film Field of Dreams, which coined the famous phrase, "If you build it, he will come." In the car world, companies have built their electric vehicles and are now waiting for consumers to come. Survey conducted by the Cox Automotive found that 41% of consumers are now considering either a new or used EV, which is up from 31% in 2021. I am not. I'm not happy with the way the things feel in terms of just no. The 16,000 for a new battery pack on the Grenade. No, I'm not gonna do it. Despite interest, sales aren't keeping up with the increased output, as the nationwide supply of EVs in stock has swelled to 350% this year, more than 92,000 units, which translates into a 92-day supply, Axios reported. That data does not include Tesla, which sells directly to the customers. Meanwhile, dealers have a slim 54 days worth of gasoline-powered vehicles in inventory. Normally, there's a 7-day supply. So there's a 70-day supply versus a 54-day supply for conventional gasoline-powered vehicles. As for the luxury brands, they appear to be struggling. Take a closer look at them reveals that only higher EV inventories than others. The Korean luxury brand Genesis, for example, Hyundai, that's what Genesis is. It's Hyundai. Has sold only 18 of its nearly 82,000 G80 EVs in 30 days leading up to June 29 and had 210 in stock nationwide, which comes to a 350-day supply, according to Cox Automotive's research. Other luxury brands, such as like Audi's Q4 e-tron, Q8 e-tron, and the GMC Hummer EV SUV, have substantial inventories well above 100 days. To add insult to the injury of luxury EVs' high price tags, these vehicles are typically not eligible for federal tax credits. So why are you going to buy an expensive ass EV if you're not going to get the perks? It just doesn't make sense. Skipping. Martinez Sasquatch drank Modelo and several of their products and only ever had brats cooked in Budweiser. Budweiser just gives me a headache, man. It's Patriot Fever, Bud Light hurting more than 30%. Yeah, at least, man. Yeah, it's definitely not getting popular anymore, and there's other brands that are taking over. I mean, Modelo's a good beer. I mean, I've heard enough people say that's what I prefer. So yeah, drinking Mexican beer. They're crossing the border. They're taking over. Oh man. Let's see. Scrolly. Okay, I already spoke about that one. I don't need to go back into that yet again. Sometimes I drive myself crazy with these because the way I'll flip through. Oh, this one I found very, very interesting. I got myself an email from the Biden-Harris campaign grassroots team. So who are we talking about? We're talking about you know him, you love him, Mr. Yeah.
The name is.
So anyway, you know what? I think I'm just going to substitute Kaka for, saying Joe, just Joe. Okay. So anyway, hi there, fake name that I gave them. Welcome to the Can I even say Harris? Or do we don't have a new sound guy. We don't have a new sound effect for her, do we? I didn't think so. Okay, no, we don't have a new sound effect for her. So we're still working on the new Kamala sound effect. So we're talking about the Harris campaign grassroots team. You're getting this email because you previously supported our team, and that kind of commitment can help to re-elect president and vice president and elect Democrats in the years to come. I have given them zero. Let's do this right. Zero support. The only thing I have is I have them, because I'm a registered Democrat in Maryland, unfortunately. But I have them on my email list because I want to keep tabs on them. That's why. Our campaign's critical work is fueled by grassroots support received through emails like this one. You are the hardest team, and we couldn't be more grateful than you're here. I don't even read right. You are the hardest team, and the heart of this team, and we couldn't be more grateful you're here. It doesn't even read right. But we want to know more about you. We hope you show your support and how often you want updates. And then it's like preferences and this, that, and the other thing. We couldn't be more excited to have you on board. Talk soon, Team Harris. And if you click on it, it puts you on this jump page, the Action Network. So you can update all your stuff. And of course, all my information is sketched with the exception of my email address. But there's I saw this one quote from him and he was like, ensuring democracy to ensure the future of our blah, blah, blah. It was like, you apparently don't know the charter of this nation. We're not a democracy, okay? We are a representative republic. And, oh, you're going to make him do it, aren't you? You're going to make him do it. No, don't. No. Oh, I see him. Oh.
Whoa! It's spicy!
It's spicy caca. Well, you're half right. Yeah, you no, it's we just need to get another sound effect, okay? I don't really want to have her doing that every time I'm trying to say, and the vice president today, and all of a sudden you hear and all the rest of it. No, I don't need all that, okay? Don't. do not. No, I think we're good. Let's see, scroll. I think you guys heard about this one or not, but this one's kind of one of those obscure things. And there's a website that I'm partaking of, and I'm now, basically getting emails from. But the website's called howtogeek.com. And essentially, it's kind of one of those interesting what ifs, how's it goes, and really, it's kind of one of those, really, it's a very, very geek thing. I don't know most people would even consider this. But, of course, when somebody basically expires, a family member then can take a hold and utilize the Facebook account. And they then make it a memorial where, basically all the posts are kind of locked in, but people can still, enter in their own commentary or remembrances or, something along those lines on their timeline. You'll see hey, happy heavenly birthday or, remembering you or missing you or blah, 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 something along those lines. And those things you can post on their timeline. Well, there's the other side of the equation too for the hardcore geek guys. Excuse me 1 second here. Those guys who only reside about maybe 20 to 30%, IRL, in real life. And the rest of the time they're online, just that's it. That defines their existence. They're online. But anyway, this article from howtogeek.com says, what happens to your digital games when you die? Shelves of physical games have been replaced by digital ones for most people. Unlike digital games, physical games have simple ownership rules. If it's in your hands, it's yours. This begs the question, once you're gone, is it your shelf or is the virtual guns gone too? So, big, bold text. Can you transfer your games to family and friends? The answer, frustratingly, is complicated. Digital content such as games is usually tied to the end user license agreement or the EULAs. These EULAs are almost universally prohibit the transfer of digital assets. It's an illustration according to Steam subscriber agreement. And it's in here, the little box. You're entitled to use the content and service for your own personal use, but you're not entitled to, basically brackets with an I information, I guess. Sell, grant the security interest, and transfer reproductions, content, and services to other parties in any way, nor to rent, lease, or license the content or services to others. Similarly, Sony's PlayStation Network terms of service echoes this, stating, you may not buy, sell, trade, or transfer your online ID, or current or any personal access to the PSN services through any means or method, including the use of websites. Study the subscriber agreement, terms of service, and other game delivery service. Big or small, you're likely to find similar wording. The games you buy through the service are for you and you alone. They simply aren't provisions of someone else inheriting your vast Steam library. In practice, no one's checking if you're dead. While the legal environment surrounding digital game transfers is complex, prohibitive, the practical reality differs. As long as someone has access to your account credentials, they can access and play your digital games. This effectively means your digital games could potentially outlive you. Services like Steam or PlayStation Network are not scanning obituaries and cross-referencing the user accounts. Furthermore, these platforms have no concrete way to verify whether the account holder or someone else is using the account, given they possess the correct login credentials, which is pretty much that's you. Your login credentials is you. How can I leave credentials behind? Leave behind your digital gaming legacy. It involves balancing practicality and legality. In strict terms, sharing your account credentials violates most digital game providers' terms of service. Yet, given the lack of practical enforcement upon these items, you may opt to leave instructions for accessing your digital libraries upon your untimely demise. After all, a chance to share your vast library with your heirs is better than no chance at all. So what they're basically saying is, that amount of geekdom that you've generated on one of these gaming platforms could still be played by the next family member going, oh, I remember when he used to play this game. I used to love watching him play. And then they play it and they basically ruin everything that you built. That's the only thing I can think of after this is basically you see the ghost looking over the guy's shoulder going, no. It's he basically ruins the fortress that he built, all the characters that he built up and all the badassery and funds he generated. He probably pretty much ruins the game. And it's the game provider's wow, this guy really sucks all of a sudden. That's the only thing I can think that actually happens. Oh man, that's funny stuff. But essentially what happens is if somebody basically can log into your stuff here, they can do that. So the following into it, it says, however, word of caution is necessary here. Sharing account credentials, particularly for accounts linked to stored payment methods or private information, could be risky. It would be prudent to consult with a lawyer to ensure your actions comply with local laws and don't lead to unintended repercussions for your beneficiaries. That's just hilarious. Okay, so I'm not gonna will my online games to somebody else. Okay, I think pretty much when I kick, it's gonna be all the financial stuff. That's what you need to know. That's all that you really need to know. But the secondary, I really don't play a lot of online games anyway. I think there's one website where I play one or two games, but it's pretty much just the case now where all the Flash stuff that I used to play. It doesn't really work that good anymore. So it's really not even worth, messing around with. And of course, I'm also rocking an older machine. So a lot of the stuff really is just not compatible any longer. So yeah, I really just don't worry about it. But, I got a couple games on my phone and I play them fairly regular, but it's basically a time killer. It's also the running joke about oh no, I had to take a poop without my phone. I was so bored. I didn't have my phone to take a poop with. kind of one of those things. But anyway, let's see. Let's scroll to see if anything else is jumping out at me. They're still talking about this whole chat GPT and GPT-3 and all the rest of that fun stuff. I do not do AI at all. I will not mess with AI in any way, shape, or form until it's so locked into the system. I have no choice on it. But I am not going to be part of the the test audience, mostly because it's just not ready for prime time yet. It's basically the companies are putting the stuff out there so they can say, well, we have a product out there. It's our version of AI at the moment, and it will get better. But you need to play with these things and improve them. And no, I'm not going to do that. Okay, I'm not part of your test audience. I'm not going to be the psychiatrist for your kind of screwy wanna be a person, artificial intelligence. Not doing it. Not doing it. See you later, then, Martina Sasquatch. She's signing out of the room. Coming up on the 10 o'clock time period, it gets us time for me to roll out as well. I do appreciate your kind attention. You guys hanging out with me. I know you got many, many, many other choices, but you decided to hang out with me, and I truly appreciate your kind attentions. So I guess it's time for me to roll on out, and I truly, truly, truly appreciate your kind attentions. It's a Tuesday. There's many other things to do, but you guys hung out with me, and you get a gold star for attendance. So I'm going to break up with this one, and Eco Cape Rings, always, you love it. If I generate something else, I'll put it up there. I have had a couple ideas, and there's always something ruminating. But I'm going to break up with this one. So, Eco Cape Rings, always, you love it. I will see you guys next week. Have a good one, and I will catch you guys then. See you later, and